How's it
Hey,
going?
I'm doing well. I'm very excited for this series. I mean, it is such a bingeable series.
Well, thank you. That's the nicest thing I've heard all day. I'm so pleased. That's great.
I know.
That's what
I'm
I
really.
try to make it like. I try to make it like you just got to see the next one, you know. That's what we all try to do, and I'm glad that happened for you.
I know it's a shame that you're only coming out with one episode weekly. Now I'm just going to have to wait.
A little bit, yeah.
Hey, so tell me in your words, why do you think Motherland Fort Salem works? What's your secret formula?
I will say that I don't know if the occult and the military have been considered together in the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that peanut butter and chocolate has happened. I'm sure other fantasy authors have like kind of created worlds where military and magic met, but in this specific American female context that is very diverse and kind of talks about the history of the country, I don't know if it's like that. So I think people like new things, and I think in that combination, I might have struck on something new, and I think that helps. But then again, it's just you got to tell compelling stories that keep people guessing, and there's that too. So yeah.
Well, in my perspective, the reason why it was compelling to me is it's sort of like a boot camp for witches, because it's like watching a military movie or show about boot camp,
Totally.
but with magic, which
Totally.
and I think that's the strength of this. But since technically they graduated during the first season, are we going to see more training with these girls? Definitely.
Absolutely. So how it works is if you do well in basic training in this world, you are selected to continue on your education at War College. And through some twists and turns, it looks like they're not going to get in, but at the last minute they do. Our unit finally gets invited to attend War College. So they will begin training. They're going to learn mother tongue. They're going to learn kind of advanced versions of what they were already learning in terms of wind striking and stuff like that. And then the season goes crazy. Full disclosure, like the epic plot convolutions of the series kind of eat up everything, and they're not in school for a chunk and then they go home for a while, but there is a presence of their continued education, which is always fun.
In the first season, you kept it simple. It was just army versus spree, or perceivably good versus evil, and then all of a sudden you just throw in the Camarillas in there. Why did you want to do that? I mean, now I'm not even sure of who I can actually trust.
But I like that. I'm actually after that. I like that gray area and I like that tension. And I think the entertainer in me likes to keep people guessing that way. It's also an opportunity for two enemies like the army and the spree to possibly unite against an enemy that's even worse. And the Camarilla are bad. I mean, the spree have some of the spree ideology makes sense. Their methods are terrifying, but the Camarilla, there's no dignifying their aim, which is literally genocidal, and it just track down the last witch on this world and to kill her. So I always like stories where enemies come together for a greater good, I guess.
Isn't there like some kind of irony that the Camarilla uses their voice boxes to use magic against the witches, where they kind of hate magic? Isn't that like a straight up ironic?
It is ironic for sure, and it is for the witches. It's a sacrilege because the voice and the vocal cords are sacred organs for witches, and to have that perverted by their enemy is the ultimate insult, and it's also a scary development in terms of the Camarilla's arsenal. Because how do you fight against these people who can control weather and do all of this incredible stuff? You need to have something that can at least approximate it and try to match it, and that's what the Camarilla are trying to do.
I know you can't give us a full out spoilers, but could you at least hint us whether the Camarilla has some kind of structure similar to like the army and spree down the
You'll
road?
get, yeah, and the nice part of this season is you will get a face on the Camarilla.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not just this mysterious organization anymore. You'll start to see how it's set up, and you'll also see how deep organizations like the Camarilla can infiltrate into power structures, you know, and it's quite scary to see what they've been up to and how deep they've gotten. By the end of the season, we'll see how deep they've gotten, and it's really messed up.
Now let's talk about the army. One of the things that you kind of implanted was there's something about General Sarah Adler. Is her past going to finally catch up to her? Because, you know, with somebody who has centuries of history, there's something suspicious about that.
You're totally right. And even at the end of last season in episode 10, we have Alder and Tally having that conversation where Alder says, you know what, I stand by every decision I've ever made. Well, season 2 explores the question of maybe there was one that got away. Maybe there was one that you truly regret. And for a soldier, that regret is processed in PTSD. And so we're going to see that projected into Tally because of their connection via Biddyship. So that story bleeds out in ways that Alder does not like at all. Most excellent.
Now before I let you go, this world is so rich. When are you going to write your books?
I'm on it now. I am figuring it out, and you know, I think I'm a much better writer than I was when I tried to do it before. I had really not tried a lot of prose. I'd been writing screenplays, and I think, thank you for the encouragement. I think I'm going to get my thoughts together and figure something out, because I think there's an appetite for it, and I also believe that the world is rich enough to invest in. And I think it's that kind of IP. I really do.
Well, when that book is published, I'm going to be first in line to purchase it from you. So.
Thank you, Gig. That's so nice. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you for talking to me. Next time, Eliot, we're going to talk spoilers next time.
I love it. You're going to wheedle them out of me. I can't wait.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you.